James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is December 5th, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. In breaking news, we've had a 7.0 magnitude earthquake and 14 additional earthquakes offshore on the Juan de Fuca plate, better known as the Cascadia Subduction zone. Now, this was a huge quake. Came in at a 7 on the DYFI, an 8 on the shake map. This quake had an associated tsunami warning and a small, very small tsunami created. They're saying that it was at 0.6 kilometers of depth. I find that impossible. It was in the ocean. So this is usually sea level. That number I don't agree with. Again, we've had one 7.0 magnitude earthquake and 14 additional earthquakes. Let's zoom in and take a look. We are currently in an earthquake swarm. So actually we've had 16 now. Additional earthquakes. Everything in red has occurred in the last hour. For instance, this is a 5.0 right on the Juan de Fuca plate here. And all the action is right at this joint here. This is the North American plate boundary here. This is the Juan de Fuca plate, and all of this is the Pacific plate. As y'all may know from one of my lessons, now we're up to 18. So we're in a swarm situation, real time. And there's that 7.0 with the tsunami warning that created a small tsunami. It is only about 5 or 6 inches, but it was in fact created. This looks like big trouble for the Cascadia Subduction zone. We'll go over exactly what that is right now, and we do see some action, well, on the ground as well near some of the volcanoes. All right, we talked about the Cascadia Subduction zone just yesterday. We had some quakes there yesterday. I guess they were precursors to this much larger earthquake. The Juan de Fuca plate is located here in between the Pacific plate and the North American plate. It's being pushed under the North American plate, forcing magma or lava to the surface of the Cascadia volcanic range, the Green River, the craters of the moon, even Yellowstone. It's also forcing magma to the surface of the Olympic Mountains. Some of them are volcanoes. We have Olympic volcano right here. So again, in summary, the Juan de Fuca plate is subsiding or going under the North American plate, being pushed by the Pacific plate, and you'll see the North American plate here, forcing magma to the surface of all the volcanoes in the northwest of the United States and British Columbia. So our swarm continues. We're up to 19 earthquakes. This is all off the coast of California, the very southernmost part of the Cascadia Subduction zone, the very southernmost part of where the Juan de Fuca plate meets the North American plate, and of course the Pacific plate. They all meet in this area right here. So lots of movement here. A 7.0 coming in as an 8 on the shake map. Wow. Jumping over to volcanoes and earthquakes.com. We can see how absolutely huge the quake is. Let's zoom in and take a look. Or turn some more of these on. That 7.0 is just amazing there. It's going to be very strong. They have it at a very shallow depth, 0.6 kilometers. Main source, USGS. The French came in at a 6.5, which tells you it's a very powerful earthquake. That's probably the strongest I've ever seen the French come in at. The Europeans, a 7.0 at 14 kilometers. That's more like it. See what else they have in that area. Wow. And we're not going to be able to tell, but we did count 19 on the USGS map here. You can see it's all situated right where the Juan de Fuca plate, the Pacific plate, Juan de Fuca plate, and North American plate all abut, and we must have movement to have these earthquakes there. The 7.0 earthquake was just over an hour ago. Wow is all I can say. And, well, let's get some more information about this. Just off the coast of California, Petrolia, California. All right, we have a confirmed 7.0 magnitude. We had lots of people feel this one. Confirmed USGS main source. 29.8 atomic bombs worth of energy released. All I can say is wow, folks, wow. Comparing quake data from different reporting agencies, we have a 7.0 at 0.6 kilometers or 0.4 miles USGS. A 7.0, the Incorporated Research Institute for Seismology. They always follow the USGS. They have it at a default depth. We have a 7.0 coming from Germany at 23 kilometers. Probably more like it. A 6.5 coming from the French, default depth of 10 kilometers. A 7.0 coming from the Australian Seismological Center here, default depth 10 kilometers. A 6.9 out of the Italians, and a 7.0 out of the Europeans. The Italians came in at 15 kilometers. The Europeans came in at 14 kilometers. Wow. All right, we have a tsunami buoy in event mode here. Buoy number 46411. And the event mode is just this tiny little red area here. These are the normal wave activities. As you can see, it's a very small event. We'll take a look at it just off the coast there. But, in fact, it is, by definition, a tsunami, although it is minute. All right, here we see our water column height moving up, moves up and down. And this is our event right here. Taking a look at our event, we're moving from, well, we're moving about 12 centimeters. 12 centimeters. So we're not talking about a very large tsunami here, but it is in fact a tsunami based on what we see here. It did put the buoy in event mode, and there was a small wave created, although only looking like about 12 centimeters. All right. So we still have 19 earthquakes in the last couple of hours. Really the last hour and 30 minutes here. Everything in red's within the last hour. And, well, that number seems to be on the uptick here. We have a huge swarm. This again is where the Pacific plate here meets the Juan de Fuca plate here, meets the North American plate that goes through here. And we will back up and zoom out so y'all can see what that looks like. That is the Juan de Fuca plate here. You can see all the actions. The southern tip of the three where the quote-unquote joint is. And these are the Cascades here. That's Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams, Mount Hood, Mount Olympic, and obviously it's a complete volcanic range that runs all the way down into the Sierra Nevadas. All the Seven Sisters are here, the Seven Sisters volcanoes. And we do have some movement on ground here. We have a 4.1 at Geysers geothermal plant, which is the largest geothermal plant in the country here. But the story of the day has to be the 7.0. Wow. 29.8 atomic bombs worth of energy released with the one quake, not to mention the other 18 earthquakes we've had within the last hour. God bless you and yours. Share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World.